One, two, three, audio testing. All right, welcome everybody to today's live stream on the High Altitude Investing channel. Let's just go ahead and make sure that the live is working. Perfect. Now we'll go share this in the Discord for anybody that is trying to get live with us. Live stream today, starting right now. See, today's a Thursday, so happy Thursday, everybody. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about whether we're going to 2017 again. So, when I think about Bitcoin and when I think about crypto, I think about a very parabolic market. Something that goes up extremely high in value. Something that moves very quickly on the upside. Something that blows people's mind when it comes to percentages. And yes, as the market cap grows, those percentages decrease a little bit. But overall, Bitcoin as an idea and the general idea of it being a one world currency and a deflationary currency at that, tends to take a lot of market share from a lot of different things. I mean, just for me personally, let's see. Oh, nice. We got some people. Greetings. Good to see everybody tuning in. Welcome. When I think about Bitcoin and when I talk to different people, I talk with people all over the world in all different types of businesses. You know, whether they're in real estate, whether they have car businesses in India, whether they have Bitcoin miners in China, there's just people in this space from everywhere, in every culture, and every language, every religion, every single race. Like, this is something that is worldwide. And it goes much deeper and bigger than any single country. And so the reason that Bitcoin does what it does is because it takes the market share of the fiat currencies around the world. When we're comparing Bitcoin, I compare Bitcoin against the US dollar, but sometimes it's forgotten to look at Bitcoin amongst other currencies. You can look at Bitcoin against the euro. You can look at Bitcoin against, the British pound. It really is up to you what you compare it against. And this does go to bring up another fundamental thing in trading, is that whenever you're determining value, you're determining how much people believe it's worth against something else. So when you're looking at Bitcoin versus these other currencies, this is a chart of Bitcoin versus the British pound. We'll drop to like a one-day candlestick here. And you can see that obviously the price is different because the value of the British pound is different than the value of the dollar. So right here on the right hand side we have 7,187 British pounds per Bitcoin. But really the chart looks pretty much the same. Not every single one looks the same. There are some currencies out there that are just completely failing. And when you look at the currencies that are completely failing, you see Bitcoin just on a much more steady uptrend with less of an intense dip, which is really interesting to me. So when I think about Bitcoin, when I think about cryptocurrency, when I think about whether it's possible for us to do another 2017, not only do I think it's possible, but I think it's improbable for us not to have another bull market like that. And I could go over fundamentals. Like, one of the fundamentals for me is inflation. Like, hyperinflation. If you ever get bored, do a Google search of hyperinflation. And America is not the only country that is experiencing hyperinflation. What this means is that the amount of money in circulation, the amount of dollars that are printed, has gotten faster and faster and faster over time, from fractional reserve banking, from hyperinflation. And these things, they're not going to stop. Once humans are habit forming, it's in our nature that once we get comfortable doing something, we're not likely to change. Now, yes, things can happen to make people really wake up to change, and Bitcoin is one of those things to help people wake up, but it's also a deflationary asset. So if you look at the inflation, when I look at the chart of Bitcoin, I mean, I could see Bitcoin gaining value. I could look at this and be like, okay, ever since Bitcoin was created, it's been gaining value. But what I actually see, I see the US dollar, the British pound, the euro, all of these fiat currencies, I see them losing value. So I'm just going to take this right here, and I'm going to put fiat. Oops, that's not fiat. Forgive me for my spelling errors, my friends. Cheers. In the mornings, I like to drink lemon water. It's nice and tasty. So this right here, this line going down is really what I see. I see fiat losing value. And yes, Bitcoin is gaining value as a result of that because it's scarce and it's deflationary. But and it is an amazing technology. So just like how the internet's an amazing technology, Bitcoin fundamentally is mind-blowing. The way that the technology works, it's inspirational for people that are innovators. It's magical for people that are creative. And it sticks with people as an idea. So Bitcoin is an amazing thing, but also the fiat currencies are failing. So that's a paradigm shift that I want you guys to think about. I know I've talked about this a little bit in my channel before, but I wanted to propose that in today's video. Now, let's do just a little bit of the shorter time frame analysis on Bitcoin here. So this right here, what happened in the market on the weekly candlesticks is we got a bullish engulfing weekly candle. So this means that the bulls engulfed the bears. These were the bearish candles, specifically this one, and the bullish candle just completely took it over. If we look at the last time that we got a strong bullish engulfing candlestick, it was actually right here when Bitcoin was worth about 3,200. And that's when we saw a nice rally on the upside. This right here is an example of a bearish engulfing candlestick, where the bears engulfed the bulls. So if we kind of zoom in here so you can see a little better. This red candle is significantly longer than the green candle. And that's the simplest way I can explain it. Just like how in the bullish engulfing candlestick right here, this green candle is significantly longer than the red candle. So that's one of my favorite candlestick patterns when we're just looking at what's going on in the candlesticks. And that's what we see here on the weekly candles. I think if we drop down to the 3-day, we actually see a better example of the bullish engulfing because you see the red candle better. But that the 3-day, you get a very, very strong bullish engulfing candle. Now, does this mean that this could be the bottom of this drop? Definitely. Definitely could mean that. Now, there's a resistance level that I'm watching for that we haven't broken above yet. So we haven't confirmed that this is the bottom of this little drop. And when I say the bottom, I'm talking about the move from 14,000 down to 7,600. Because in my opinion, it's pretty probable that Bitcoin has bottomed and we're in a bull market. So I'm more talking about the shorter term price action, what's happened on the right end, the right translation of from when we shifted from the bear of 2018 to the bullish moves in 2019. So this right here is a channel, a downward pointing channel, or also known as a bullish flag pattern. So a bullish flag pattern, it's pretty simple to draw over here. One of my favorite patterns. And it just looks like a flagpole. I mean, you got the pole of the flag, the move up. You've got the downward channel, and then you have the resistance. So I'm going to take this top line, you guys, and we're going to make it red here. There we go. Now that red line just indicates that that is resistance. So that's what I'm watching. And by the way, you guys, we are going to do some altcoin analysis. So get your alts ready. What's up, Steven? Yeah, so we will have time to do a little bit of altcoin analysis probably towards the end of this stream. But I really want to get into what's going on with Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the leader of the cryptocurrency market. I don't care how big of an altcoin maximalist you are. When Bitcoin holds the most dominance and when it has the greatest market cap, all of your fundamental theories and all of your ideas about altcoins are meaningless. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking down on altcoins. I'm actually quite bullish on altcoins because they follow Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has the most market dominance. So therefore, it is the leader of the rest of the market. Even if you aren't a Bitcoin maximalist, or you are a Bitcoin maximalist, or you're an altcoin maximalist, or not an altcoin maximalist, the real thing that matters here is market share. What percentage of the market is putting the majority in? And the majority of the market, when they invest in crypto, are investing in Bitcoin because there's the most exchanges and it's the least volatile and it has the biggest market share. So that's why they do that. That's why I do that. That's why I invest in Bitcoin more than altcoins. I have a bigger market share in Bitcoin and a bigger belief that Bitcoin will see upside. Or not necessarily a bigger belief that Bitcoin will see upside. Maybe that wasn't the best way to word that. But rather, due to the lower volatility, a bigger trust in the Bitcoin market as a whole. Because it doesn't do like what Ripple does, where it just goes up 1,000,000%. Not really 1,000,000, but you know what I mean. And then drops like 84% like a week afterwards. It's, even though Bitcoin is pretty volatile, you guys, it is still much more stable than Einsteinium, for example, or XRP. It has a more stable way that it moves. And same with Ethereum as well. Ethereum is a little more volatile than Bitcoin, but it's pretty stable in the way that it draws its patterns as well. So the resistance level, what's going to confirm that we're going to go up in Bitcoin? Well, if we can get back up above the top of this candle, or what's called descending resistance, where the prices have came up, rejected a little bit right here, and came up to test this resistance. So if we get above this red line, then yeah, this is going to be a really good sign for Bitcoin. When I think about what this might look like from a market cycle perspective, I pretty much see this as new paradigm. Well, it's obviously new paradigm. I see this as depression. I see this as disbelief. And I see this as disbelief again. And that just is an example of the confidence. When I use those words, I'm talking about the confidence of the majority of the market. The majority of the market is in disbelief that crypto or Bitcoin will return to its trend. And that's a great investment opportunity for everyone. So let's talk a little bit about volume profiles. Because when volume is increasing, if you guys have like a little piece of paper and you're trying to learn today, take some notes and write this down. Grab yourself a pen and write down when volume is increasing and price is increasing, this is bullish. When volume is decreasing and price is decreasing, this is bullish. So let's look at what happens here. 2017 bull run, volume and price increasing. So all of this was very bullish. Obviously, it went from like when it broke the all-time high, it went from like $1,000 to $20,000. And let me tell you, that was one very exciting experience to be part of. For anybody that rode that, you guys definitely know, for the real OGs that have been following me for a while, you know how exhilarating that was. And even if you're a professional at trading markets, even if you've had more experience, even if you've had more time trading markets than I have, I guarantee you felt some emotion in that period. And then right here is volume decreasing and price decreasing. So what does this result in? Bullish movement. Now what's happened again from this move here, this wedge? Is we have price increasing and volume increasing from the 3,000 level to the 14,000 level. There's confluence in our volume profile with our price profile. And then again, we have volume decreasing while prices are decreasing. So what I'd like to see is a breakout in this resistance level, breakout in this bullish flag, and a breakout in volume to confirm that as prices are rallying again, volume also starts to rally. And this trend of the volume decreasing and the price decreasing changes. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here in Bitcoin. That's what I'm watching for. Now, what would invalidate this is if our support level of 7,500 failed, or also known as this lower channel in the bull flag. I can make it green for you guys. So if this bottom channel in the bull flag fails, and we get if the bottom of this channel fails and we don't get that volume and price breakout, I'm gonna be watching for these lower support levels again. The support levels that we bounced off of at the bottom of the market last year. So that's kind of my medium shorter term analysis. Fish and Chips, what's up, my friend? I like your name. Crypto OG, how's it going, my friend? I think that it's important to be long-term bullish, also known as what people would call positive on the crypto markets, because of what I talked about at the start of this video. The fact that people and inflation and all of these things, the inflation rates aren't going to change. The rate that we're printing money keeps increasing rather than decreasing. And Bitcoin being a deflationary, scarce asset, being a bullish person in Bitcoin, even being long-term bullish, even like I was in the bear market of 2018, when prices dropped and then prices dropped again, and we failed support, and the 5,900 level failed, where I was recommending stop losses, and we went all the way down to 3.2 thousand. When we hit 3.2 thousand was when I was the most excited about a bull market, because I recommend the long-term perspective. It's really easy to get caught in the shorter term stuff. I do like to update you guys on the shorter term stuff, but even what I'm doing right here in the weekly candlesticks is what I consider to be shorter term analysis, medium term analysis. I mean, short term, you have to define these things for yourself, by the way, because you'll find when in trading, everybody has different definitions. And every market has different size of market cycles. So when I'm trading Bitcoin and I'm looking at medium-term analysis, I'm like in the weekly candlesticks. When I'm doing like short-term analysis, I'm in like the 1 day or the 12-hour. And I'm looking at this channel and I'm like, oh, are we going to break above this resistance, or are we going to test this 8,300 level again right here? And then go back up. And that's my shorter term analysis. This is what I consider to be shorter term in my trading. You will not catch me in a live stream coming into the 30-minute candlesticks and being like, okay guys, everybody go ahead and log into bitmex.com, go 100x leverage right now and go short, because I think we're going to drop down to 8,900 per coin and then we might go back up. You will not ever see me do that. It's not what my channel is about. That's not who I'm targeting. That's not what I care about. That's not what I look for in my investments. And that's not what I would inspire you guys to do. What I will inspire you guys to do is drop into the 1 day, the weekly, and these higher time frames and make sense of what's going on in these time frames. You know, pull down on your chart a little bit so you get more perspective, so it doesn't look like the chart just went like this. Choo, choo. You know, you don't you don't want it to look like it just instant mooned and instant dumped. You want to pull down on the right hand of the chart right here. Give yourself a little bit of perspective, some horizontal and vertical perspective, and then do analysis on the big patterns that are forming in the big time frames. And that's what works for me. That's what I don't want to use the word recommend, but I will say that's what I would inspire you guys to do. And what I actually really like to do, my favorite analysis is actually just pulling up the BLX chart, the Brave New Liquid Index Brave New Coin Liquid Index over here on tradingview.com. Removing all drawing tools, dropping down to the logarithmic chart over here on the right hand side. And again, pulling down and zooming out. And then I take the curve tool. And this is really my favorite. Like, if I want to get serious with you guys for a second, not that I'm not usually serious with you guys. I mean, I do have a little bit of a sarcastic sense of humor going on sometimes, but this is the chart that I care about. This is 1 penny per coin. This is 20,000 per coin, so we'll just take some of these bigger drawing tools here for y'all. I might use y'all occasionally. I did grow up in kind of a hick town. There's literally a place near my town that is named after moonshine. So actually that's not right here. It's the 20,000 point. All right, so this right here, a penny per coin, and this right here is 20,000 per coin. And then the pink line is a projection into the future. And this is the chart that I care about. As a long-term investor and as a medium time frame trader, this is the one that I look at. If I'm teaching somebody that's new about Bitcoin, if they come over to my house and I'm like, what's up? We sit down together, we're looking on my laptop together, I show them this chart. Because it's this chart that shows like I was saying at the beginning of the video, this right here, this growth curve, this is Bitcoin gaining value, but what this really is fiat currencies failing. This growth curve is fiat currencies failing. So that's the one that really interests me. Welcome, Jason. It's good to see you tuning in, my friend. That's Bitcoin Fund Manager, lol. I have seen that guy on YouTube. I'll just save my words for another day. Nah, he has had a couple of videos that I thought were kind of interesting, but listen, when it comes to analysis on YouTube, I used to kind of tell people to only follow a few really good people, and I still believe to follow the best of the best. And I highly recommend that you are careful with who you pick and why you pick them. I do recommend that. But I'm also a strong believer in open information, and YouTube has a lot of different people on here. And if you can learn something from them that you didn't learn on another channel, more power to you. I have learned so much from other investors, other Bitcoin traders. It's not like I just figured all this stuff out on my own. I learned a lot from a lot of different people. A lot of people in my Discord group, even, I have to give a big shout out right now to people that follow me on YouTube and that have watched me in the past. And I've learned a lot from people that actually follow me. Turns out there's a lot of traders and investors that follow me that were into it for a long time and into investing and into Bitcoin, and they have taught me a lot too. So if you can learn something from somebody, do it. Have an open mind. Be cautious because it is investing, but be open-minded at the same time. and learn that balance. It's a balancing act. It really is. All right, so I did want to bring up stocks. Now, when it comes to stocks, I am not here to tell you when the top of the stock market is. I'm not here to try to predict the top of the stock market. I am here to analyze what's going on in the stock market. And I am here to give perspective about what can cause a crash. So when people think about what could potentially happen, I mean, we've had a 2003. This right here was a 78% drop. This is also known as the internet bubble. This is the year 2000 at the peak of the internet bubble. And this is the year 2003 at the bottom. So it's really important to remember that in markets, everything is connected because it's all value. You could look at it like a big family. Actually, this is a really good example. Sometimes the stock market might be arguing with the Bitcoin markets, and sometimes the Bitcoin markets might be getting along with oil. But overall, it's a big family of value, and they all transact and trade together. And the emotion of one market affects the emotion of another market. There isn't a single market in this world that isn't affected by other markets to some degree. Because everything is interconnected on this planet. So and really everything is interconnected from this planet out. So this right here, the NASDAQ composite. This right here is the the internet bubble, excuse me. This right here is 2008, the 2008 crash. It's funny to me how everybody only remembers the crashes. They don't remember the bull markets. They only remember the crashes, and that is an example of the majority losing. It's an example of the majority losing in the market. So when we look at this bull run in the market, it's an amazing thing, and it can easily extend up further here. From an Elliott wave perspective, I see this as a potential expanded flat where the B wave extends above the top of the fifth wave, and then you get the correction afterwards. The reason for this is because we can count a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. So you can see the moves in the market. We'll take a pink line here. We'll make it kind of fat so y'all can see it. And we'll go like that. And we'll go like this. And so that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here's a potential, an Elliott wave theory potential. The market drops. The market rallies. And then the market drops. So that's an expanded flat correction where the B wave is expanded above where the fifth wave ended. It usually creates divergence, it's called, on the MACD as well. And that is where the MACD, we'll just pull it up actually, so I don't have to try to explain with my hands. Oh man. So here's the MACD. So what often happens in an expanded flat correction is you have the fifth wave right here. So this is the fifth wave in correlation to the MACD. And then you have a huge drop back down to support where it's really oversold. And then prices rally up in the B wave. They move up to the top of the B wave. I don't know, it could reach like 10,000 per NASDAQ composite. And then the MACD tries to get back above that resistance but fails. So that's divergence. Price makes a higher high. MACD makes a lower low. A lower high, not a lower low. MACD makes a lower high. And then the whole market does a correction. So that's kind of an Elliott wave perspective, a potential for the stock market. Now, what could cause this, you guys? Let's just actually ask you guys, what causes a stock market crash? Let's see what you guys think about this. Save the altcoin requests for a few minutes. We'll do them about 10 minutes after we run over the correlation in the stock markets, you guys. I appreciate you dropping them for us, though. C wave could easily extend into the fourth and the fifth wave territory. Yes, that's actually a common occurrence in Elliott wave theory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that the C wave could go all the way back down to here, which would actually make sense because if we take a horizontal line and go from the top of the internet bubble, the top of the internet bubble is now a support level because it used to be resistance. So if prices rally up here in a B wave and then come down for a C wave, it falling down to this level would be quite normal, actually, according to Elliott wave theory. And that would be, 50% drop. We could pull this up to the 10,000. It could be, like a 50% drop in the market. So a repeat of 2008. Could be a repeat of the 2008 crash, essentially. So let's see what you guys say about. Thank you, Trenton. Federal Reserve, yes, that is one thing that definitely has an effect on the stock market. The thing that I'm really paying attention to, the thing that I see that will cause this more than anything else, though, the Fed printing money, yes, that's one aspect of it. Bitcoin being created, that's another thing that has an effect on the stock market, because like what I said about the interconnectedness of markets. But the other thing that's really that people don't talk about a lot is that oil had an ABC correction. Oil has fell. And if you want to know how much oil fell, you can take the percentage tool and you'll be like, oil fell 81%. What did Bitcoin do in 2018? It fell 84%, I think. Somewhere around there. Oil and gas are undervalued. Now let's look at food. And you guys, I mentioned this in my VIP. I went into a little bit more detail about all the correlations on a VIP chart. Let's look at food. What did wheat do? Wheat did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, can you guess what year this is? Right here, when wheat was just was pumping in value and just skyrocketing in value. This was 2008. During the stock market crash, during an economic collapse, as they like to call it, food, oil, and silver, potentially gold, we have to see how it acts on its new support level. It's not quite as undervalued as oil and wheat as far as percentage down goes. Will go up in value. So what I see as a major factor in this stock market crash is how undervalued food and oil are. And I love Teslas. Elon Musk's a really cool guy. But the majority of the world drives oil and gas-based cars. We had a lot of people buy Teslas, it's true. But it's not the average people. It's not the majority of the population. The majority of the population still use, and even aside from our cars, our tractors, the way that we build our roads, the way that we mine for coal, the way that all of these things are based in fossil fuels. And fossil fuels are ridiculously undervalued. And wheat is ridiculously undervalued. So that's what I think is going to be the biggest factor, in my opinion, in my view, of a potential stock market correction. I don't like to use the word crash. I mean, it will crash in value, just like Bitcoin crashed in value. But the word crash has so much negative connotation, because what that really means is when the stock market drops 50%, you have a buying opportunity. What that really means is when there's blood in the streets, you can make money. We will see probably quite the panic across the world on public media, but I don't really recommend watching the news anyways. It's just, yeah, it's quite drastic, but it's the same. I mean, the internet bubble was a 78% drop. The 2008 crash was, I think, a 57% drop. So a 50% drop in the market would be falling onto major support, and it sounds drastic because it is intense in comparison to the 500% rise that we've seen since 2008 in the NASDAQ. But it's also kind of healthy from a market perspective. It's healthy for it to do that at this point. It would actually be more weird if it didn't. Markets are cyclical in nature, and so there always is a correction no matter what. There's never been a market that doesn't have ups and downs, pumps and dumps, market cycles. So there will be one. If it takes longer, it's going to be bigger. So a 50% drop would be healthy, and what I would actually want to have happen, because then we can go in for another wave in the market. We can continue. We can return to our bullish trend after a drop like that. So all right, now let's go into the altcoins, you guys, because we've got a little time left here. So let's do your altcoin requests. So yeah, as Bitcoin picks up, you guys, I will be doing, if it breaks out of this resistance channel right here like we were predicting, I will be doing more of these live streams. I'll be keeping you guys posted on my perspective on the long-term stuff as much as possible. And I will be guiding you guys and inspiring you with the altcoin markets and the Bitcoin markets as a whole, because this is my primary thing. But I have been kind of interested, at least, in explaining some of the other things that's going on with like wheat and the other stuff. And by the way, for the people that are invested in cannabis stocks, I think cannabis will do pretty good during a stock market crash of the majority of the stock market. Not every single stock is going to crash. When I talk about a stock market crash, I'm talking about the indices, like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ index. Those are the ones, the NASDAQ composite is actually the name. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. There are obviously stocks that will rally during a crash and stocks that will crash during a crash. So not everything is going to be crashing in the stock market, but there will be crashing. So stuff that's correlated to commodities, like companies, for example, companies that mine for silver, or companies that do fracking for oil, or companies, all of that oil stuff, those companies, the stocks that are correlated to them will probably rise as a result of oil rising. So you have to remember that when I talk about the stock market, I'm talking about the indexes. Or I should specify at least for you guys so that you know. And cannabis is a commodity. So for the people that have invested in the cannabis industry, cannabis being a commodity during a stock market crash would likely do well because it's a commodity associated with just like food is a commodity, or coffee beans or tea. So all right, VTC. Now we're getting all the altcoins. Vertcoin. All right. So I'm going to throw this on the log chart so we can get a better idea of what's actually going on here. So for VTC, we do actually have a bullish volume profile. We have increasing volume and increasing price. And then we have decreasing price and decreasing volume. So this is kind of like the calm before the storm. And when I say storm, I'm talking about a good storm, you guys. I'm talking about a potentially very profitable storm. This is decreasing price and decreasing volume. So what I really would watch here for Vertcoin is to begin an uptrend. We haven't started a shorter term uptrend. We are in an uptrend in the bigger picture here. The trending is up. We've made a higher high. We have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher lows. So if we continue, meaning that if we start to make on the shorter term higher highs and higher lows and return to this angle that we have here, this could begin back on an uptrend again and could start trending upwards in value. So what I want to watch for is some higher highs and higher lows made, because we are in the shorter term. Since 2018, we've been in a downtrend for Vertcoin. So this is this red line right here. So if this black line starts to take place, where we get a curl back up and we break above this downtrending line, this red line, and then we get that volume to come in as well. So if price and volume starts to increase, start to make higher highs and higher lows, this could return back to its bullish trend here for Vertcoin. Now, I think a lot of coins are being delisted off Poloniex. I don't know if this is one of them. Pretty sure this coin used to be on Poloniex. And for anybody that is a US customer on Poloniex, I believe that you have to pull your funds out soon. I just wanted to give you guys a little reminder of that. I don't know on the exact details, but I would check on that if you can. If you make a withdrawal, you can pull it to one of the other exchanges that supports US customers. Or if you need to sell and convert into Bitcoin, you can convert it into the Bitcoin, send it to another exchange, and kind of rethink what coins you really want to hold if you can't find that coin on the exchange that you're converting to. So I know it's kind of a pain in the butt with all these exchanges getting turned around. Hopefully decentralized exchanges in the future, and as crypto comes back into this bull market, will help fix a lot of that stuff. So that's kind of my Vertcoin analysis. We need to start making higher highs and higher lows. And then this volume profile is indeed bullish, but we want to see a bullish spike come in with a reversal in the trend of the shorter term trend. Because like I said, this green line represents the more long-term trend since 2015. All right, now let's go over with Link. Some of my followers were telling me that a stripper on Twitter was telling everybody to invest in Chainlink all through 2000 and I think 2018, 2019, and said that unfortunately she made way more money investing in crypto than he did that year just by investing in Chainlink. So, you know, sometimes I guess listening to strippers when it comes to crypto works. Who knew, right? So, so this right here is a huge accumulation. This whole section in 2018 where it mainly did sideways trending, a lot of bouncing up and down, that's accumulation. This impulse rally all the way up to $4 is the beginning of an Elliott wave impulse. So this right here is probably a 1 and a 2 wave. Oh, come on. Let me draw my Elliott waves. A 1 and a 2 wave. And then we're making a 3 wave. Now, 3 waves are very impulsive. This is the 1 of the 3. So I highly doubt this 3 wave is over yet. And I would project that Chainlink will continue on its bull trend, even if it does a test of the support level before returning to it. So with Chainlink, this is one that I really do like the chart pattern for. We do have increasing price and increasing volume. So if we can continue, even if there is a dip back down to this support level of the top of the 1 wave, I'd expect this trend to continue on the upside, you guys. So yeah, Chainlink is one to keep an eye on and one to invest, especially if there's a dip of any kind. That's not a recommendation. Nothing that I do on this channel is a recommendation, you guys. Not responsible for any losses that may occur in trading cryptocurrency. You can find that in the description of all of my videos. And the reason for that is because you guys have to make your own decisions at the end of the day. All I can do is inspire you to my perspective. They know it's money. True that, Free Mind Canada. Very true. Oh man, let's go over Tezos. XTZ. Yeah, you can I hear these days you can pay your strippers in Bitcoin. I mean, I did live in Vegas for a while, so who knows what I did out there, right? All right, so let's check on this Tezos. Tezos is doing actually the chart pattern is doing increasing price and increasing volume. We do have a bullish engulfing. And it's actually doing the same bull flag pattern that Bitcoin's doing. It's not quite as angled down. So the angles are a little bit more horizontal. It's not as vertical in its angle in the bull flag angles, but it does look pretty good. So Tezos, if we can get above this resistance level here, 166, then that is going to be pretty bullish for Tezos. I would actually see that this would start an uptrend rather than this brutal downtrend that it's been in, if it gets above that level. And also, you guys, don't go spend all your Bitcoin on strippers. For real. Save and invest. Like, let's be smart about this, you guys. Great retail customers. I'm not going to judge you if you do, but I'm not going to say I haven't been perfect in my, I'm not going to say I've been perfect in my life by any means, but saving and investing your crypto is smart. So, all right, let's check out BitShares. Now I'm red in the face. Oh man. What a life. What a life this cryptocurrency journey is. All right, so BitShares is on the logarithmic chart here, is in a bullish trend, you guys. So this was the previous high, this was the low, this was the next high, so a higher low, a higher high, and then we started on a more short-term bearish trend through 2018. But we are falling back onto the support levels right here that correlate with the support levels in the past back here. And you guys, BitShares is a decentralized exchanges. So with all of this trouble that we've been having with exchanges lately, BitShares could be a solution to that. I really do think that BitShares is a great project. I have always loved their exchange. I like the way the platform works. There's always development that could be done, but I think that's with most cryptos, you guys. We're not looking for perfection here when we're at the beginning of a revolution. We're looking for things that are being developed and things that work enough for us to use them. Now, I do think that perfection should be our long-term goal with all of this stuff. But there's always going to be mistakes. There's always going to be learning. There's always going to be things that don't go the way that we expect them to go. And that's just part of the name of the game. So with BitShares here, I do see a pretty good potential for a reversal. Again, that volume profile. This is the calm before the storm, where volume dies. As price dies. What did I say at the start of this live stream? Volume decreasing, price decreasing results in bullish action. So this downtrending resistance level right here is quite significant. And that's what I would be looking for a breakout. So really, if we can start to get above that 3 cent level, 3 cents and above, we're going to be seeing some nice action here with BitShares. So yeah, I really like the chart pattern for BitShares, and I've always liked BitShares as a whole. This is also making a triangle pattern right here that I didn't notice until just barely. But this triangle pattern, this lower support trend could also hold. And if this higher resistance trend breaks out, that's going to be the signals that we're really looking for with BitShares. Rev Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid drinkers. Man, I love you guys' usernames here on YouTube. It's always exciting to hear them. All right. Yeah, let's look at BitTorrent. BitTorrent dollar. All right, so this one, let's go ahead and pull it off the log chart and look. This one doesn't have a lot of price data. This is a newer coin, a newer project. We don't have a lot to go off of here. We do have a shorter time downtrend right here. This does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave impulse down. And this could potentially be an A, B, C wave up, which is common in a bear market to see A, B, C waves up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. But we really have to see price and volume start trending together. So we want to see price start to see a reversal or a rounded bottom kind of structure here. And we want to see volume start to increase as well. So that's what I'd be looking for with BitTorrent. We do have a bullish engulfing candlestick on the 3-day. So there is hope. There is hope that this trend can reverse here. But until that volume and trend starts trending together, I wouldn't start putting a lot into it. If you do have a little bit, there's probably no reason to sell here. But that's just how I would look at the market here. So, Free Mind Canada, if Bitcoin is looking like it wants to drop, it's going to be in the shorter time frames because it is at resistance. It is at resistance right here. So when we're looking at the 3-day candlesticks, it could drop a little bit, but it's just such small price action that I wouldn't care. I'm long Bitcoin right now. Especially if we get above this red resistance line, I'll be really bullish for Bitcoin. That's kind of what we talked about at the start of the stream. So the shorter term stuff, I recommend not worrying about. Zoom out to the 1 week, zoom out to the 3-day, zoom out to even the BLX chart on TradingView, and go into the monthly candlesticks and look at this chart and do your analysis based on this rather than the shorter time frame stuff. Sounds like a lot of BTT, my friend. All right, so we'll do Verge, and then we'll kind of talk about some extra stuff towards the end here for you. So Verge is another coin that I really, really like the long-term Elliott wave count. Dropping into the logarithmic. Oops. Dropping into the logarithmic chart here. I really, really like the Elliott wave count. It's just got a very good accumulation pattern. The volume, again, is that calm before the storm, where volume just drops all the way down. And then this right here is a 1, 2 impulse. This would be a 3, 4. And if a fifth wave comes out of this, you guys, we're talking about to the moon with Verge. So I really like Verge. We do have to get that downtrending resistance level to break. So this one right here, this big red line right here, that needs to break. But I really, really like the chart pattern for Verge, especially in the big picture on the logarithmic, which is what I like to do with Bitcoin too, is that big picture on the logarithmic chart. All right, so before we go here, you guys, I am doing a 20% sale on my Elliott Wave Power series and also the VIP stuff if you're not part of our Discord group. As you can see in here, I post some free stuff in the Discord, like charts. For example, this volume. When volume is increasing and price is rising, interpretation bullish. When volume is decreasing and price is falling, interpretation bullish. And so I post these little tips in here for free. So I highly recommend going out and checking in the description of this video, of this live stream, and just joining the Discord, you guys. It's a great place to start learning. It's a great place to ask your questions. And you can get in there for free and start learning for free. So check that out. Join the Discord group today. I also post like when I, for example, when I play my electric guitar on Twitter because Bitcoin has a bullish candle. And I post analysis in here. I show examples of the correlation between the market cycles, where we're at in Bitcoin and the market cycles, where we're at in the altcoin markets and the market cycles as a whole. And I run over a lot of this stuff. I show like the market cycle chart, and then I show a chart of human emotions. So there's a lot of really good free stuff in here. There's also the 3 Elliott Wave Power Series secrets. Now, besides all that stuff, you guys, I don't have a lot of these available. So really for people that, it's only for people that are very interested, and I don't want just the average person to get in on this course. I want people that are seriously going to message me, ask me tons of questions. They're going to be curious about what to learn, or they're going to be curious about how to apply what they've learned. And that's the Elliott Wave Power Series. So really, this is only for people that are serious. I'm not looking for average traders. I'm not looking for average investors. And I am looking for investors with large capital. And I am looking for people that are serious about understanding how to count their waves and how to perceive the market and remove as much human emotion as possible from that. So that's the Elliott Wave Power Series. You can actually go ahead and check out on the website right here if you want more information on that. So yeah, the code today is live November, and that will get you 20% off on my 1 year for the VIP stuff, my lifetime subscription for the VIP, and it will also get you 20% off on the new Elliott Wave Power Series. So we created that at the beginning of the year with a little test group. Test group did very well, and I'm finally opening it up to the public, but there isn't a lot available for the average person. So again, I'm only looking for serious investors that are going to actually take this seriously, because I really don't have time to help people that aren't going to learn seriously. When it comes, I do have a little bit of time for the free stuff in the Discord, but when it comes to the detailed questions, that's when I'm looking for the investors that are willing to actually invest some capital in this. So how high do I think EOS can really go? We'll run that over before I dip here, and then we'll call it a day. When it comes to cryptocurrency, you're talking again about fiat's failing. So how high can EOS go? Well, how much money is the Fed gonna print? How much is this print? How long is this printing gonna go on of US currency? And when it comes to EOS, this is an expanded flat right here, ABC. So this is all considered to be a one wave. So if this is disbelief, like I think it is, a three wave's coming. So that means new all-time highs. And in this three wave, the 1.618 is the minimum extension. So the minimum Fibonacci extension would be $38 for the three wave. That's the minimum target of the three wave. It can go higher than that, by the way. And then the four wave has to land on top of the one. Otherwise, it's invalidated. And the five wave could go to $50. It could go to the 2.618. We really don't know, because we don't know if the three wave is going to stop at the 1.618 or whether it's going to stop at the 2.618. So when we're talking about EOS and its future, we're talking about a coin that could easily be worth over $50, even up to $100 in the future. So it's a bright future, you guys. I'm really excited about the markets as a whole, and I really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to today's episode, and I'll see you guys in the next live streams. Go ahead and message me in the Discord, and let me know once you're inside. If you are a lifetime member or a VIP member and you haven't been getting the updates, you can find those updates in the Discord. I've still been posting them all through the markets, all through 2018, all of that. My primary website is down right now, the highaltitudecrypto.io site, but it'll be back in due time. And for the people that were part of the VIP and maybe aren't in the Discord currently, click in the description, join the Discord, message me or message one of my moderators, and we'll get your status back, and you'll be able to go through and review all of the updates on the market since 2018 and 2019. My analysis has been getting pretty accurate in there as of lately. So again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.